Hello again, everybody, and anybody who is watching this video. So in today's video is kind of similar to my last video where I kind of just wanted to get out of an art block. I'm still kind of in that art block, but in this video I just wanted to experiment and test and just kind of see what would happen. I did have an idea in mind beforehand of what I wanted to do, and I tried to recreate the idea I had in my head as best as possible. So I did actually do a little sketch beforehand to kind of get my ideas down on paper, so I had a bit of a visual idea of what I wanted to do. And this is the sketch. You can't really see it, but you can. You can see the face. There we go. Yeah, it's really bad. There's the face, and she's like holding a sword, and she has a cross on her head and flowy hair. Yeah, it's really bad, but it doesn't end up looking like that, so it's okay. But I think without further ado, we should just get into the process video and see what I came up with. So here we are in DAZ 3D and just creating a model. I already did some tests in DAZ 3D to know what I wanted the model to do and look like because I ran into some issues. So this part was really quick because I already knew what I wanted, so I just recreated what I tried in the past, because previously when I was in DAZ 3D I was running into issues with exporting, so I had to reset it. It was a whole thing. But now I brought it into Blender and I wanted to completely white out the eyes because I wanted it to have kind of like a creepy, bit of a gothic vibe, I guess you could say, and I thought white out eyes would be cool. So that's what I did here. And here I was just kind of adjusting the skin a little bit. I don't think I changed anything really. I was thinking about maybe trying to make her skin look more glossy, but I wasn't too bothered about it, to be honest. So here I also had to sculpt her eyebrows to move out a bit because in the render they were like inside her skin, so I just pushed them out. And here, doing the same thing as I did in my previous video, which I'll link up in the eye now, which you can watch, and where I created like a shape in Photoshop and exported it as an SVG into Blender. So here I was doing a cross. I wanted to do like the same kind of like tribal fawny looking design, I guess you could say, a fawny design, I don't know, again as my previous one but as a cross. So that's what I did here, and I did the same technique where I did like a really rough like sketch and then just erased over all the rough edges to make it look a little bit more cleaner. And so brought it in the SVG of that and started positioning it on her head, because my plan was I wanted to like have a cutout in her head where with the cross there. Come to think of it now, I genuinely could have just erased the center of the cross in Photoshop. So I don't know why I like to make things harder for myself, and I learned to just do it in Photoshop in my last video, but I didn't listen to my thoughts. Basically, I just stuck with making it harder for myself. So doing the same technique again, where I just kind of went ham with the layer tool, the smooth tool, and the blob tool in sculpting to just give it texture. So here I used my beloved liquid curves generator to create like a random design on the body. Thinking about the outcome now, I could have gone a little bit more detailed, maybe a little bit more eccentric with it, but I just wanted to do a really quick one because I'm still in like an art block and I'm like trying to get motivation to do more Blender stuff, so I wanted to do something really easy to just keep winding myself back into Blender. So I did it really simple, and once I was happy with the design I converted it into a mesh and I went into sculpting and used the pinch tool to kind of make the really thick lines thinner and just kind of smooth stuff out. So I got this free sword model off of Turbo Squid, which I'll link down below. I could have modeled it myself, but I'm an advocate for using the resources that are open to you, and especially if they're free, use them. Just use them. I don't see the problem with it. And well, I say if you're a beginner, definitely learn to model properly before you actually do use other resources, because otherwise you're not really going to learn Blender. But I wanted to do something quick, so that's my excuse why I'm using a free model of a sword. So this pose, I cut out a lot of me actually doing the pose because I don't use this pose in the end. This pose becomes completely useless, but a happy accident happened actually when I was moving her arms about, which you will see later on. And here I also wanted to make the sword longer so it matched to the length of the bottom of her feet. So here I was doing the same technique with the sculpting tools as I did with the cross on her head, and just kind of going ham. I want texture. I wanted texture on this piece because I think I need to branch out from just a simple metallic curvy look, because so many other people do that and I don't want my work to look exactly the same as so many other people's work. So that's why I'm trying something different, and I do like the texture it gives. I like that it kind of looks gross in a weird way. That could just be me. I kind of like that it looks gross. So once I was happy with that, I put it back on the model and getting into the texturing. So I think I left this part in of me using like a metal texture that I got off PBR if I find it, or if I think I got it from a video where they link their textures I use below. If I find that video, I'll link it down below as well, but I actually don't end up using this metallic texture. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of things I do in here that I don't actually have in the final outcome, but it's fine. Also, this background is not in the final outcome. I might actually use it to help with the render, but I just make it transparent, I think. So I was also setting up lighting. This lighting changes too. Yeah. So next I wanted to set up the camera. I wanted to get a full body shot, but once again, in the outcome, the whole body isn't really in it. It's kind of just like like from her thighs to her head, I think. So yeah, setting up the lighting again. This lighting, it's starting to get closer to where I actually do use the outcome you will see. So also, I think I did end up keeping this like HDRI in the background. I used a color ramp to make it black and grey. I'll link the HDRI I used down below if I can find it, that is, because there's so many of them that I forget which one I use each time. Yeah, I think I did use this HDRI, but I make it transparent. So here I also did the same thing I did in my last video with this gradient idea, and I absolutely love how it is darker from the center and goes light outwards. So I did that again here. I just really like that effect. I think it's cool, and there's no harm doing it again if you like it. So here's when the happy accidents started happening with the positioning of the arms, because here you'll see I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll have her hold it like that, but that just looks weird. And then I thought, oh, what if she's holding it down so like the sword's on the ground like that, but didn't end up liking that either. Yeah, it just looks, I don't know, it just looks meh, very boring, very like, okay, that's fine. So then I was like, oh, I was sorting out the hand, I was like, ugh, whatever. So I just left it there. I was like, I'll just leave it there, I can't be arsed with that one. And then this is when this happened, when I was like trying to sort the arm out. It messed up, but it went here and I was like, wait a minute, I could do something cool with the sword here. So I came up with this idea of her holding the sword like she's about to swing out and attack almost. Like she's a scary lady. She's a scary lady. So yeah, I think I'll title this piece like She Fights Back. I don't know. I don't know what to title this one. With like all my stuff, I don't know how to title them or what to title them, because I go into these Blender experiments with just experimenting. I don't have a deep meaning behind the work I do, even though I should. It would probably be helpful, but I just don't. I just like to have fun with Blender, and I feel like in the art world, so many people do artwork based off of meaning, and I think it's kind of like, especially in art school, I'm in uni as well now, and it's pushed into your head that it needs to have like a deep theoretical meaning, and it's like, but what if I just want to have fun with it? What if I just want to experiment? Because that's usually what I do. I just want to have fun. I don't see what's wrong with that. So setting up the lighting as well here, because here's when I started to get an idea of what I wanted it to look like. I had a light in the back because I wanted like a light outline, because when I bring it into Photoshop, there'll be like, you know what, you'll see. So here I wanted to add glow. I was thinking of like sparkles, but It's like, I'm fed up. I've used too many sparkles in my previous work. I want to just add like glow. I don't end up using this exact setting, I don't think, but I do also adjust the lighting as well because I wanted the whole sword to be glowy. So here, bringing the final render into Photoshop. Now it's time to actually make it look good. Give it some texture, some grain, some ambiance, I don't know. So this is why I made the back of her light, because I wanted to have like an white aura behind her. Give her more of a magical, cool vibe. And also, as you can see, I just like, you know, cut out the center of the cross. Why couldn't I didn't have to cut her head. I didn't have to put a hole in her head, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, I did think about adding sparkles here, but I was like, no, I just want the glow. So I got rid of them. But yeah, that's pretty much the video done, actually. I do add one more like grain over the image, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think without further ado, I shall show you the final outcome. So here is the final outcome, and really like it. It's probably not like everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I feel like what really brought it all together was the final editing in Photoshop, and I just love how I did this like filter over the top. I think I did the texture, like the texturized filter in Filter Gallery, plus the grain, and then I added another one. It was like something glow as well, and I forgot what the settings were. I apologize. If you slow the video down, you might be able to make out what I did in Photoshop, but I really love it and think it's really cool. But that's the video pretty much done, and make sure to follow me on Instagram so you can like this post, and also to watch my last video as well. If you found this one inspiring and interesting, you'll probably like my last video. I'm going in kind of like a new direction with my work and overall style, because I'm kind of fed up of the same old stuff and I want to change. So that's what I'm doing. It's a little bit of a change and it's more grown up maybe, I don't know, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe as well so you know when more videos come out, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!